Hi guys, my name is Quoy here from Mercury Gratitude, giving you a peace of mind to at least that one person at a time. So I just wanted to show my face to just let you guys know that I'm changing a few things up. But you are here because you're doing a pick a card reading. Don't mind me because this camera is a little bit whatever, but I do want to, let's talk about things that are shifting. There's a lot of things that are blocking us. And if anybody knows about Mercury Retrograde, it's nothing to fear, but it's something to learn more of the lesson. A lot of times repeating themes come back in our life, and it's like, what do we need to learn so we can catapult that energy into something else and literally shift the game? So today's pick a card reading is about really understanding the lesson within our career and our creative energy. Where's our weak spot? What are we doing that we're not really getting? So, I really want to bring my focus to help people that are a creative, even though I believe everybody's creative. Let me just, because that's the thing here. Everybody always wants to be like, oh, I'm not creative. Everyone's creative, right? But I want to help out my artists. I want to help out the people that are really wanting to tap into their creativity. So let's make this focus a career reading. And without further ado, you can look at the time links below. I suggest you just sit, take a deep breath, and figure out which pile is best for you, which feels like it. And guess what? If you're feeling the vibe, of course, subscribe. But subscribe to all three if you'd like to. There's no right or wrong answer. But let's get into this reading, all right? All right, let's do this. Let me move this out the way. Uh-oh, something's jumping out. So, pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Pause for the cause, and let's get into this reading. Of course, I'm going to start with pile 1, so let's get into it, all right? So pile 1, let's save this for a second. Let's talk about it here. Compassion. So what's going on with your creative energy right now, and what's going on with your career? I'm probably going to switch back and forth during this reading, like people that are in the career and then just your creative energy. I'm just saying that because I don't know, guys, but like in a way I just want to say career as in people that are like working actively in a job, or as an entrepreneur, or someone that is really focusing on their creative energy. Okay, so this is what we have here. This is what the overall energy here is right now that's going on with you. And I really want to tell you, as you listen to in the background, I don't know, I'm really like listening to the car backing up, but I think that you're back here around, like I was talking about, as I'm recording this is Mercury retrograde right now. It's in Libra season, which means that a lot of things have to do with couples, have to do with relationships. I mean, everybody, like, we're always dealing with relationships unless you're just really self-centered or you're just really introvert and you don't talk to anybody. But regardless, we all have relationships, right? Whether them be romantically, sexual, family-wise, or, co-worker-wise, or even friendships, you know what I mean? Platonic-wise. We're all dealing with types of relationships. And right now, for you, pile 1, this main energy is talking about having compassion. I feel like it's having compassion of self, right? Compassion of self. Like, look how she's kind of interacting. She may have this relationship with the monkey. And right now, I don't know, this may be a special message for somebody, but sometimes they call in meditation, it's this part of our brain that's called the monkey mind. And it's usually the one that has all these intrusive thoughts and deals with anxiety and all this stuff, right? Some of you may be learning a new form of meditation, just starting meditation as a self-care practice and really having a relationship with yourself, right? And there's a need for you to have compassion. You know, learning meditation and in calming down that monkey mind or a very anxious mind takes time. Let me tell you, I've been meditating for the past maybe going on 4 years actively. And when I first started, I was like, okay, I know this is going to help me. But boy, I was like, I could not focus. I was doing like 10-minute meditations, possibly 5, which gradually wind up being 30 minutes, 40-minute meditations. It doesn't happen overnight. And Lord knows, I was in this survival mode and really still stuck in this place of like wanting a microwave expectations, things that are like, we need this right now because this is what society is like, right? But at the end of the day, everything does not happen overnight. And if it did, I kind of feel like as quick as it came, as quick as it left, right? So we're focusing here too on comparison steals your joy and keeps you blind in the gems you already have. I feel like you do have a gem. Don't come from it, y'all. I know I didn't read it verbatim, but sometimes comparison, like for instance, like being on social media, like you may find something, especially, let me tell you, especially as an artist, especially tapping into your creativity, right? Many times, and it's taken a while for me to get out of this, y'all, so I'm definitely speaking on this. You ever thought of an idea or something and sometimes you don't want to show it because you feel like somebody might take it from you? And then like months down the line or years down the line, you sat on the idea, you didn't do it, and then you find somebody else did it. That used to burn me up, right? And it got me in this comparison mode though. Many times we don't understand how we'll sit on gems, right? But because of the self-doubt and fear or whatever, right? We'll just sit there and compare ourselves to other people. Sometimes we'll be like, oh, I can do that, but are you doing it? That's the question. What's holding you? So I'm going to tap into these tarot cards right now and see what is holding you back, you may be, more than likely, you're subconsciously holding yourself back and not giving yourself enough compassion, right? During this time of your career, because I feel like many of us are stuck in between. It might feel like we're in between a rock and a hard place. But especially if you're into astrology and you know about Mercury Retrograde, Mercury Retrograde can be very annoying because we're not learning the lessons. And it's a time for us to slow down some things, slow down our thoughts, slow down our actions so we can really shift gears into what is new. But we can't do that until we learn the lesson. So what do you need to focus on in your career and in your creative energy right now to really learn this lesson? What is your weak spot and how are we going to shift this, okay, y'all? So let's go. Let me get, these cards are so big, so sometimes you don't do pop outs. I love pop outs if you guys don't already know. All right. Okay. So let's see. What do we have here? Is this in camera? Yeah, okay. So we got the High Priestess. Ooh. I'm going to actually do like this. All right. So your energy is very interesting. Let's even go further, y'all. Oh, oopsies. Okay. All right. So like I was saying, I feel like this group pile one, you're holding yourself back. There's like this anxiety to really show your true self. There's an anxiety to really be like you, show your thoughts, show your ideas. Because I feel like deep down inside, please let me know in the comments, y'all, but deep down inside, you probably did get, like, somebody probably did steal your ideas, which is trash, honestly. It's not cool. But that's so hurtful. And many times subconsciously, we hold on to this idea right? And then we don't go anywhere because we don't want anybody to see this now. And we take that maybe as your stuff isn't good enough. Or, again, like you may sit on these ideas and be like, oh, yeah, my stuff is good. But nobody knows. You know, you can be the most talented person in the world. But if you're not really sharing it with others, that's the gift here, y'all. As an artist, and being aware of your creative energy, once you tap into that, once you really find your process and your flow, the true gift is really giving that and sharing that with the world, y'all. It took me a while to really understand that, but I'm just letting y'all know, okay? I'm letting y'all know because that's what's blocking you. You have great gifts, creative. I was going to say creative soul that you are, but pile one, like you are coming to a completion here, but you feel like you've already been coming. You know, some of you have been like, all right, I've been feeling like I've been coming to a completion forever, right? But the thing here, I have these cards here that this speaks and represents your shadow side, masquerade. It's like you have like these, I just want to say like cerebral ideas, like you're very in your head many times. And sometimes you don't ground that energy because you start thinking and then thinking and then thinking until the point that it becomes that like worry and overthinking. That doesn't help you. You know, that becomes crippling. Anxiety. I think that I'm speaking to a lot of artists right now, whether you are a working artist that has your own business, or maybe you work for somebody and you have like this creative business, you know. I used to be a graphic designer. It's cool, right? But sometimes, let me tell you something. There's a hidden gem inside of you that really is connected with that imagination in that spirit world, you know? If you don't find yourself spiritual, which I kind of think you do for you to have this card come out like that, and holy love, like y'all must be hiding your own spirituality. But regardless, you get these images, you get these downloads, you get these ideas that are, I want to say, prolific, right? But many times you hide them because you think that they're not good enough, or you think that um I'm hearing, all right, I'm shifting gears for you all right now, because some of you guys think that when you hear the word procrastination, you think you're being lazy, and you are not being lazy, but your anxiety sits in. There's different levels to procrastination, all right? You're procrastinating many times because you may not know how to get from A all the way to Z. You know, you might be able to get to A to P, or A to S, or A to T, but you can't complete the whole alphabet. And I'm saying that it's because you're not digging deeper within yourself. You're thinking too much of what may happen that has not happened already, or you're just, see, you're coming up with these creative ideas, right? And when the negativity comes in, it just demolishes your ideas, and then it just starts saying, well, wait a second, well, maybe this might not look good, or I don't know if it's going to happen. It stops yourself from grounding. You need to find that love. Again, Power One, I really feel like you guys are spiritual beings, like all of us are, but I feel like you've waken up to this spiritual sense of you, spiritual sense of a lot of other things. Maybe you're wanting to leave your job. Maybe you're realizing that you do want to start your own business. Maybe you're realizing that you're changing something within your business right now. Either or, I feel like what your weak spot is, though, is by not giving yourself enough compassion, not honoring yourself as a creative, that your ideas are these hidden gems and you need to polish them up and show them to the world and share them to the world. Because we have the Princess of Circles. Many of you may have been doing that already, but many of you may not be. And there's just some deeper healing that's going on that I feel like you may need to step back and really just find introspective and really Nurture yourself, find that mothering energy within you. Figure out some deeper things that hasn't been working, deeper things that have been blocking your energy to really get to grounding that creative energy here. To go deeper into it though, with your weak spot, I do feel that your weak spot is you overthinking things that have not happened already. All right. And what can help you is sharing things. Maybe you don't think of it so big yet. Don't think of your project being so big, but really minimize certain things one day at a time. Again, get off social media. Take a social media break probably. Don't listen if you feel any jealousy or any comparison or competition with people around you. Don't share those ideas with that. Don't share it until you complete it, until you're ready to really, because this is another thing that I just thought of too. Sometimes you have these ideas, but you didn't start it. And that can be a problem because an idea is an idea, right? An idea is a dime a dozen. Great minds do actually think alike. But are they going to do it like you? Are they going to create it like you? And I feel that some of you need to keep yourself quiet, right? There's a quote that I want to say. Work in silence and let your success be the noise. For some of you, let that success happen by completing the job, by completing your ideas and actually bringing them into an actual physical form. And then that way you start sharing it, or if you need help, then it's like, hey, I have a baby now, like I literally created my baby. I mean, some people, when they get pregnant, they keep their pregnancy quiet because of that, right? You never know, right? But the biggest thing here is about really having compassion and really not let people steal your joy, because if you do, it's really going to just keep this block within inside you. I'm big on talking about chakras, and many times our sacral chakra, our root chakra, our solar plexus will be blocked, and that really doesn't allow us to ground our energy and ground our ideas in a healthy way. Sometimes it's so blocked that we don't complete our ideas. We don't complete our projects. So let's see. For pile 1, ooh, that's a lot. I don't think I'm going to take all those, but I will take 2. Trust what feels good. Trust what makes your soul feel good. Excuse me. I can't talk, you guys. The first step to change is becoming aware of your bullshit. What are you doing here? I hope that I helped you become aware of some of what's going on. Or gave you like a little hint, a little cheat sheet there. Because that's what I plan to do with these readings, okay? So let's see what any messages from our higher self wants to talk about. All right, and then I'm wrapping this up for y'all. All right, let me shuffle one more time. Okay, nothing. So we have trust that person who came to mind, whoever, just came to mind. If there's somebody that you may have met new, or, whoever came to mind, just trust that person, okay? I'm not going to get into it. Someone is throwing shade. So maybe for some of y'all, there's trust twice here, that you need to trust yourself and trust that maybe there's a need for you to get away from somebody that you thought of, all right? Get facts first, though, and create something new. So if you're working on a project, if you're working for somebody, whatever is within your career that you got going, whether you're working for somebody or not, right? I want to say get some facts first before you start working on something new, because sometimes the newness may be like totally new, and sometimes the newness is just like adding a new piece to a project you already have, okay? But first and foremost, most definitely check yourself before you wreck yourself, okay? Because comparison will definitely do that. So, That's all I have for you all, pile ones. Much peace and love for all y'all, and just really be mindful of your own self-love journey. Be mindful of your compassion and be mindful of how you trust yourself, okay? Work on that, because when you start to understand how you're trusting yourself, a lot of things will flow a lot easier. I have new events coming up. My waiting list is open. If you look in the links below, please click. If you'd like a reading, a personal reading, I have a creative reading that really helps people tap into their creative energy, whether you're working on a project, whether you are, trying to get your career set up right, whatever that is. I have reading for that. I have chakra readings. And if none of those feel right for you, I also just have a custom reading by just asking a specific question and we get into it. All right. I got some products that are good for you too, to really help you dive deeper within your self-love journey. And yeah, I'm going to leave it right there. Check out the links below, comment below, share, like, subscribe, all that jazz. And let's move on to pile 2. Okay, pile 2s, you ready? I'm going to put this. Let's talk about this overall energy, and then we'll get into the light and dark side of what's going on with your career, okay? And when I say career, I mean people that are working for somebody, people that may be working for themselves, starting entrepreneurship or working artists. I love talking to my working artists because, hey, I'm one. But anyway, and we're talking about the creative energy here. So how can we do this differently? That's the theme here. All right, and we got guidance. Look at this card, y'all. Guidance. I really like this deck. This is, what deck is this? The Awakened Soul. That's what it is. So I don't know. Some of y'all might be into tarot, clearly, because you're watching this. But when I say that, let me just reel it back. You might be wanting to start your own tarot business or start reading cards for people and getting money. You know what I'm saying? So how can you do this differently? When I read that, it kind of feels like you've already did this, but then you had to pump your brakes a little bit because you weren't really sure what was going on. Now, others, it says, don't underestimate the power of trial and error, right? And like I was saying, as I'm filming this, we are in Mercury Retrograde in Libra, right? Libra is all about relationships, platonic, sexual, whatever type of relationships, family, co-workers. It's just about relationships. People other than yourself and how to work with people, right? Now, that's up to you to figure out, because I didn't say that in pile 1. But what I will say is sometimes they make Mercury retrograde really scary because, there's a lot of glitches and things like that. But the most powerful thing that you can learn during Mercury retrograde is slowing down, is feeling through things and really understanding, is your logic matching up with your intuition? Clearly, because we have these cards laid out, and cards are a divination tool that helps you connect with your intuition, hands down, right? You can't argue about that. I don't know why I'm talking about arguing, but I feel like, I don't know, this may be a special message. I feel like some people here for pile 2, you may be actually, I don't know, maybe you guys might be scared to do this because, like, you got laughed at, or, sometimes, oh, you're one of those people, or like, tarot is the devil or something like that, and it kind of made you not want to do this. Or maybe you've worked with somebody, right? And they kind of shamed you about the way that you were doing readings or something. Whatever that is, I'm here to tell you that Mercury retrograde is going to allow you to learn a deeper level and how to shift that, right? Okay, so let's pull some cards here. Let's pull some cards. Let's see what your weak spot is during this time you're reading this. Maybe while you're watching this, excuse me. And, during the time of Mercury retrograde. And just where you're at right now, I did this message for people that are being creative in their career or just wanting more creative advice in general. So a lot of us are dealing with like feeling like we're being stuck between a rock and a hard place. Meaning it's like we're almost there, but we're not there. Or I have no freaking idea what I'm doing. But honestly, there's a quote by somebody I do not know. But they said that, you know, chaos or confusion can actually be the part where you'll find your most genius ideas. Just saying, y'all. So, let's see. Pile 2. All right, come on. Here we go. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. What's up, what's up, what's up, scenario? Shout out to anybody that likes hip-hop, because I don't know why I was saying that, but anywho, all right. So, my pile 2s, what's going on with you? Yeah, this seems to me that, oh my gosh. So, you may be connected with pile 1 because this was literally in the same spot. I definitely shuffled these cards off and on camera, so that's very interesting. I can tell you right now, y'all are overthinking things. And you may not want to hear that because let me tell you, I never like people telling me that. I just want to use the word cerebral today. I have like a lot of energy, you know, in my mind, but a lot of it, I have a big old heart too. And many times I just have this gift, I'll just say, thinking about ideas, thinking about things that like they just come up all the time. But that can be a block for me, which I think it is for you too, because we'll start coming up with other ideas that it's almost like our anxiety has a chokehold on us, and we'll start thinking about things that have not happened already. That's not what you want to do. That's not what we do here. That doesn't help us creatively at all. And it diminishes our self-worth, and our it brings more self-doubt to us. So we have here anger and chain, which is interesting. I do think that sorry y'all, I'm getting used to this camera. I think that looking at this, it's almost like you're right at the gates, because I'm looking at 29, which breaks down to 11 in numerology, and that's definitely about walking down the corridor. Now, I'm seeing something for you guys too, that when I say walking down the corridor, it's almost like walking down memory lane, you know, and just picture on both sides. There's like pictures maybe of yourself. I don't know. I feel like a Harry Potter vibe too. I don't know if anybody that's watching that's Harry Potter. I've seen some of the videos, but I wouldn't consider myself a fan, but I'm not gonna lie, I do watch that sometimes. But anywho, I don't know. This is interesting. I feel like I want to say this is a specific message for somebody. Please write in the comments if this met you here. Some of you are experiencing some type of gifts that you have. Yes, you have creative gifts, but there's something like a spiritual gift, whether it's like clairaudience, why am I going like, I feel like some of you are feeling like you're afraid of this though, because like my mind just went blank. Clairaudience, I really don't know the other clairs. I do know, but for some reason I can't say it. So we're not going to spend time on that. But anywho, you're trying to figure out, for some of you, maybe trying to figure out how to incorporate your spiritual gifts into your business. You know, maybe have a spiritual business. I'm not sure. Clearly, if you do like tarot and you want to read tarot or oracle cards, that's incorporating your spiritual gifts into your business, right? And I think that you're trying to figure out how to balance that, how you're trying to understand some things. Like some of you may have gotten some visions, you know, and you're like, oh my God, this is scary. Or you're like, oh my gosh, this is great. And you want to follow that North Star, right? But you have to find alignment. You have to find alignment to what your goal is, because many times you have like a really big goal, right? And this is why you need to watch pile one, because I said something like this. The big goal is Z, right? And you're at A, and you're trying to go through the alphabet. Let me count the ways. And you're really not sure how to meet from A to Z. So you have to calm down. You have to find alignment. You have to really get out of your head, because you are a thinker, but you don't want to overthink to the point where you're draining yourself, to the point where you don't believe in anything anymore and you have so much self-doubt, right? And now you're like angry because you don't know where X marks the spot at. I think that there's some distortion in some of the things, your ideas and your dreams. And I feel like you have to, for some, find out your priorities first. Find out ways to really calm and feel relaxed so that doesn't allow you, because that is a weak spot for you, is getting all excited, but then getting fearful as well. And then you don't take any steps forward. Or if you do, you're just like tumbling over things, which will bring you right back to a cycle. It's like a pattern that you're like, oh my God, I want to get out of this freaking hamster wheel. I'm sorry for anyone that is going through this, because it doesn't feel good. I know this. I can tell you that I've experienced this too. But there's a need for you to have your biggest lesson, maybe, especially during this time that you're watching this, especially during the time of Mercury Retrograde in Libra, is finding your composure, finding balance, finding balance between the light and the dark, finding balance between what you think is good and bad, finding the light between things that you really dislike and things that you really want to be. Finding that. When you can find that, you'll be able to open up and find, you'll feel more aligned with your dreams, your hopes, and your wishes. Because many times, right? All right, so I'm going to tell you something, especially if I see this, for my tarot readers out here that are thinking about this. In the beginning of my tarot, journey, whatever, excursion, I remember coming across the most infamous card spread, which is called the Celtic spread, right? Or the Celtic cross, whatever you want to say it. Celtic, y'all know what I'm talking about. But it's so many cards at once. It was so much energy I was picking up. I'm like, I don't know what is going on here, type of thing. And I remember specifically being stuck on, I think there's, y'all please let me know in the comments, but I think there's a spot that says hopes and fears. And I'm like, why is that meshed together? One day I was talking with my mom, and I don't know how magically it came out she was saying something about, sometimes we get so stuck on our hopes, and our dreams, that it turns into fears, because it's like, this isn't happening. I know I saw this. I know I'm going down the right path. I know this is for me, but it's not coming. Like, where is this, right? And then you get fearful, and then you start turning into like, oh my gosh, like literally, if you could only see my face right now, right? This is why I'm saying you need to find alignment. Once you find that alignment, things are going to go like this. Like, I feel like some of you are just like master manifestors, and it just goes like this. But the crazy thing is, when you don't understand that gift, you start manifesting more fears than actual dreams, okay? And the biggest thing is by finding your composure. How does this relate to your career, right? Again, when you're working with other people, I don't know if you have, like, sometimes maybe, like, this could be a small group of you, but your anxiety might be causing you to tap into your spiritual gifts. I don't know. And in order you have to find some healing within yourself so you can feel more comfortable with that. But for others, when you're tapping into your creativity, you want to find balance, like with working with other people here. And it's like, find your sacred space, because when you can go to your sacred space, you'll be able to feel good. You know what I mean? Like, this is my sacred space. I like crystals. So I'm going to have the crystals around me that make me feel calm. You know, I like incense. I like listening to music. You know, certain things that you have that you like and that make you feel calm and secure and safe, that's your sacred space. Go there. When you keep going to a specific space, the more energy holds in that space and allows you to really feel yourself. You want to release this anxiety and anguish about things because that's your weak spot right now. So going to the sacred space will allow you to feel yourself, understand what's going on, knowing that it's okay to not be okay, but also knowing that you can change that around. Just like what I was saying, composure. There's always something light and dark. There's always a paradoxical type of view here. Especially, this reminds me of Libra vibes all the way. All right? But when you can find that balance, like, do you see this here? Like, zoom. Oops, sorry. Zoom. Like, when you have that balance, it just comes right in. Yes, I heard download. And I can't really tell you the story right now, but I think there's something like within the Egyptian, they like wore this. And I think that they wore this to actually get more ideas and connect more with God or spirit or source, I'd like to just say, because whatever you feel you want to call that floats your boat here. All right. So let's go into this here. Any messages for my pile twos? All right, this is definitely a Libra quote that I have for you. Let's take that one out. Let's see, is there any other ones? No? Okay. I'm just going to leave that right there. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm not getting into it because I'm wrapping this up. Anything you can't control is teaching you to let go. All right. I really hope that these messages help you in your career or your creative endeavors right now, because right now we do feel like, you know, it's like, what is the best step that we can do? You know, I don't, like, you've been taking so many risks you don't want to take anymore, right? Because all the risks you took were like just womp, 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 womp. And you feel like you can't afford it, right? So if you always save everyone around you but lose yourself, you've missed the point. You missed the point. That reminds me of Libra, because Libras, they're so compassionate. They're so giving. But then at the same time, I'm sorry, Libras, don't take offense if any Libras are watching this. You tend to not own up what you're doing, and then you're just not self-aware. Like, you have, like, your self-awareness is just like out of the door because you can be so selfless, right? And I'm saying that to say, really recognize what you're doing to yourself, right? You're not being selfish by thinking of what you need to do first to save you, to be in control of your thoughts and your actions. Because the things you can't control, right, is teaching you to let go. Okay? Please don't save everyone around you, because you're losing yourself and you're really missing the point. Find composure first. Don't get caught up in your head to the point where you're overthinking. Find composure. Allow yourself to understand the yin and the yang. And that will be your best bet, okay? What is any messages from higher self? This is something that you're going to have to decode, you guys. I'm not going to decode these messages too much. All right, so, all right, that's all we have. So this is a blessing in disguise, okay? Stand up for what you believe is right. You're doing the best that you can. Please don't beat yourself up. Relax, chill, and go with the flow. Oh, this is another one. Someone is throwing you shade. So, again, I'm going to say before I leave, please watch part 1. That might be something that helps you as well. And anybody that's throwing you shade, this is a blessing in disguise. let go, let God handle it, as they say. And you know what? Deuces if you have to. But if not, if it's somebody like family, you can't really get rid of them, just please take a break, because they just can't help themselves. But what you can do is protect your neck, like Wu-Tang says, okay? And just know that work on your creativity, work on yourself, and work on that you're doing the best that you can right now. But by finding that balance and understanding that it's okay, you're going to be okay. All right? Let's move on to pile 3. Thanks. Oh, yeah. And for anybody that wants to, please check out the links below in here. I have readings if you want a personal reading, creative reading that really helps you with your creative energy, chakra alignments that really helps you tune in to understand your innate energy that's going on from within. You know what I mean? And custom readings. It just basically allows you to have a custom reading, whatever's on your mind. We can get to that. All right. And I have events coming up. The waiting list is open. Please check them out. And I also have soul care products that really does help you. You know, if you don't want to talk to anybody, it helps you really rev that creative energy up and really just introspect on things that have not been working for you. Okay. Doing your own self-love journey. All right, pile 2s, please comment, share, and like. And I'm moving on to pile 3. Peace. Hey, my pile 3s, let's get to business. All right. I hope that this message seems you well. We're going to talk about the overall message and then get to this, the shadows and the light. Okay. All right. So are you listening to your inner voice or outside opinions? Unplug. I love how these things match up. So if you guys read 3, if you listened to all 3, you know, don't feel guilty for that. I'm giving y'all some free readings. This is what I love to do. I love to focus on career. When I say career, I mean people that are working for people that may have, or thinking about, or already have a business of their own, you know. And most definitely I love to talk about that creative energy, because when you are working, we're creating here. So the overall energy for you, pile 3, is really about tuning in. I'm really feeling the vibes that you need to get out in nature more. Get out of your house, you know, and get out of your head. There may be a project that you're working on that just is not fitting. The reason why I did this is right now, as I'm filming this, we're in Mercury Retrograde, and it's in the Libra season. Libras is all about relating to people, you know, relationships, whether they be platonic, sexual, co-workers, family, friends, whatever, right? It's still relationships. How do you relate to other people? And Mercury retrograde, you know, sometimes they make it like fearful, because like, I don't know why, but like sometimes, you know, like in those teeny bop, well, I don't even really want to say teeny bop. I can't think of the words because I don't want to call any blogs out. But sometimes they say, you know, your exes are going to come back around for Mercury retrograde. Yes and no. Mostly, on a general sense, things come back around during this time, because Mercury retrograde really wants you to get the message, get the lesson, and understand how you can shift gears and just shift the game. You know what I mean? So right now, many of us may be feeling like we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Does not feel comfortable at all. But feeling that uncomfortability should, I know people have different characteristics, but should allow you to really get that fire up under your butt and get going. But I do want to say, sometimes you don't want to get going if you really don't know what to do. And you definitely don't want to get going if you really feel like, oh my God, I might fail. It's not the best thing to think, right? So let's see here, because I feel like you're listening to a lot of people. You may be on social media a lot. I don't know. But there's a need for you to really unplug. Let's get into it and see. All right. What do we got? What do we have here? Okay. All right, pile 3s. Pile 2 and pile 1 had the same placement and the same card. So I'm going to be shocked if that happens again. It's so crazy how spirit works. All right. So anywho, let's start picking here. This card deck is so big. Mm-hmm. let's take it. All right, so what we got? Seven of Cups. Yeah, you got a lot of options going on here. Okay, there's a lot going on here. Yeah, you're in the mixing. You're in the melting pot, pile 3. I feel like you're in the melting pot. Okay. So this really just stood out for me right here. 4 of Staves and take a step back. For some of you, I'm not going to turn this into a love reading, but if you do know tarot, 4 of Staves is actually 4 of Wands, which really talks about it talks about stability, it talks about community, and it talks about relationships. Sometimes it's like the marriage card. As you can see, those two are coupled and just swooning over each other in this lavish, space. I feel like some of you are like kind of focused on like wanting to go out on a date, or you haven't had a date in a long time, and with your partner or your, I'll just say partner, whatever, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, whatever. There's a need for you to take a step back from work. All right. Don't be so hard on yourself for work. Now, for others, you may need to take a step back from your relationship because it's actually that other person's emotions and things that are happening within your relationship is affecting your career, is affecting your creative energy. And let me just get some water here. Because as you can see here in the shadow part, what's blocking you, what your weak spot here is this. I know for some, this is a shadow card with a shadow deck. Kind of a little creepy vibe sometimes, but it has great messages, which I wish I could at one day. I would love to tell you the story about this. Actually, I will. So I got this off Amazon, and I was like, okay. One thing about Amazon getting cards, they kind of are annoying because there's like these janky bootleg people that print cards, and I guess by buying the cheaper version, because that's definitely what I did, not going to front, I got bootlegged. So this isn't actually the original card. Let me show y'all. It came like this. It doesn't even have like, it wasn't packaged originally, and I could tell because how it looked. And I didn't even get the actual booklet. So like, it's the PDF version. It's really annoying. But one thing I can tell you is it helped me tap into my intuition a little bit more and not really going towards the book, because honestly, I don't really like doing books. But this has like special messages with this card deck, so I kind of want to. And I feel like you're really blind to a lot of this right here, because it actually talks, this card deck talks about phases of the moon. And like for some of you guys, I don't know if you guys, this just popped in my head, like some of you guys might be dealing with a breakup, and one of you or the other person does not want to let go. And it's really like, it's just a really tough way to break up. And that's been that has been messing with your creative energy, honestly. Because we also have Temperance, and Temperance is about transmuting, transforming. She has one foot in the water because she's really understanding her emotions more, but yet and still she's actually has another foot on the ground to really stay stable. And this kind of reminds me, the sun may be rising or setting. It's really something very beautiful, but then at the same time, it's still kind of dark and not really shining light on some things. And it says per change to dream. I'm not quite sure what this one is, but I do feel like it's like an ending. There is something like subconscious here that you feel, but you don't quite know what it is. And it's making you feel really overwhelmed. That's why unplug is right there. And again, it could be a relationship. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure, y'all. But this is the thing, like with relationships, right? Sometimes you want to get advice from homegirl down the street, girlfriend that you've had for 20 years, 10 years, whatever. But sometimes you don't realize that you're talking to somebody that has never been in a relationship, or like if you're talking to somebody about marriage and they can't stand marriages or aren't even married, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to say that, like, because I remember somebody one time said, like, oh, how can he give advice when they've had like 5 divorces? But if they learn their lessons from those divorces, they're the best and most powerful person to teach you about marriage. You know what I'm saying? You have to be careful, though, who you're listening to and what you're taking it out. Also, even, I'm not even going to front, as a tarot reader, sometimes you start going to all these readings and getting all these readings, but it doesn't allow you to tap into your own intuition. It doesn't allow you to tap in and listen to your own inner voice. Listen to your own inner voice. Readings are good because it does help you get to the nitty gritty, but many times you have to discern what that reader is saying, because it may not be everything that they're saying is right for you. You know what I mean? They may not. I was having a conversation with somebody talking about, being someone, even if you were a mind reader, does it mean that you're going to know everything? No, it doesn't. Because guess what? You still need that communication in real time. Okay? I may be getting too deep for some of y'all. But needless to say, though, there's a need to understand your emotions in your head. There's a need for you to line what's real and what isn't, what's working and what isn't, because you're in this space of really, one, taking risks, about to level up, and two, you're in this other space where there's just so many opinions around you and you really want the truth. Okay, so there's a need for you to step back. Stepping back would be the most best thing possible, because we have 2 of sacred circles, which is like 2 of pentacles. And 2 of pentacles really is about juggling things, It's knowing that you do have the ability, the determination to see things through, but you have to know when to throw down the towel and take a break. Take a bathroom break, get some water, or get back into the game. It's okay if you're on the bench. I'm seeing, like, feeling like somebody doing basketball, you know what I'm saying? And like coach pulls you in, says take a seat, have a bench, but you're like, no. But actually, yes, what coach is really doing is allowing you to take a break, right? Putting somebody in that may be not as best as you, but at the same time, like performance wise, but at the same time, they're going to get the job done and allow you to charge up. So then when coach really puts you back in the game, you make that 3-point shot that's like within 5 seconds left on the clock. You know what I'm saying? I am not a sports person, but somebody needed to hear that because that just came through. But you know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's times where you just really need to take a step back. You may have the greatest work ethic in the building when working with others, or just as an entrepreneur. Especially as an entrepreneur, you really need to know when to step back or not, because you're not working for other people. You don't have a schedule which tells you, like, hey, this is your lunch break. You're used to working on your own entrepreneur, and you have to it's really imperative as an entrepreneur, someone working for yourself, to know when to take breaks, because you don't have anybody. You're working for yourself. But for those that are being worked with other people, please understand your health, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Because that, I think, is really kind of the vibe here, and which is a reason why you need to unplug. There's a need that you need to unplug. Even if, like, I'm not a doctor or anything, but I just want to throw out there too. Even doctors may think that they know everything, but they really don't know what's best for you. And that's why it's very important for you to be able to listen to your heart, listen to your body, and listen to your inner voice and what it's telling you. All right? Because I think that pile 3, you're really dealing with a lot of people saying these things to you that, it may really be in your best interest. you know, and they really might have, you know, really coming from truth and heart for them. But just because their truth does not also mean that that's your truth. I just want to tell you that. So how does this affect your career, right? Your weak spot is really just knowing and trusting within yourself that things are changing, and the things that you do and the things that you trust will help you. Okay? Even if it looks like, whoa, even if it looks like things aren't working out for you right now, getting some rest could be the best thing that you can do. The best thing that you can do right now. Taking a break. Because I don't know. It's almost like for people that may not have money, right? Their money is tight, I'll say. And you're kind of sick. And you really want to go into work because you really need that money. But honestly, it's going to be the best thing possible by you taking a day off, a self-care day off, and tending to your needs. So when you come back to work, you're like, I'm ready. You're like 110 healthy now, and you're ready to get going. So this says, let your faith be bigger than your fears. You know, this is what I'm talking about. Really having faith within yourself. Listen to that inner voice. Excuse me. I can't say that enough, because I really feel like pile 3, you're experiencing that rock between a hard place because you're not listening to yourself enough. And you're kind of might be even dependent on other people giving you advice. And right now, the best thing that you can do is take a step back, take a step away from those people, and really find listening to your voice. The price of anything is the amount of life that you'll exchange for it. How much work are you really putting into this? Are you really listening to other people? Because if you're depending on other people, you're not putting in that work. For those that are, know that it's going to come. If you're putting 1,000% in and you haven't seen any results back, it's okay. It sounds weird. I'm telling you all, it sounds weird. I know that. But when you have faith and you allow that grace to step in, that grace period, that grace time, grace, allowing you to have the most patience and faith to know that you put in that work and it's not done in vain. It's just not your time right now, and you will see it. There's always ebbs and flows in life, and sometimes it's just not your time. Vulnerability is a gateway to intimacy. So, you know, like, I kind of feel like I want to go back to the people that are in relationships or struggling to break up with somebody or whatever. Being vulnerable with yourself first will definitely be the most magical thing that can happen, because then it'll allow you to know your wants and your needs, and then know, like, all right, I really need to speak up. I really need to tell him what's up, or tell her what's up, because I just can't, like, do this anymore. Or you want to cultivate a change within the relationship, you know? And it goes for even, not even romantic people, like, it goes for even working with a partner at the job. You know what I mean? Like, you're working on a project together and they're just not getting it. You need to be able to know how to speak up. And the worst enemy to creativity is self-doubt. Absolutely, hands down. Like I'm saying, you may have a lot of doubt because what you went through, right? But trust in the healing process. Trust in your vulnerability with yourself. Trust in your faith. Trust in your inner voice. When you can do that and step away from everything that you're looking outside of you and really look within, you'll be able to pinpoint where the self-doubt is coming from and how to get rid of it, okay? So let's see. Let's see messages from your higher self. I'm seeing that explore your options might be something that you need to take away, step back from, or maybe you need to do that while you're actually taking a break, you know. But I think the explore the options thing, I don't want to like really read this. Exploring your options is exploring like nature, you know what I mean? Because like I said in the beginning of the reading, you need time to unplug. Get outside, take some breaths, breathe in that good prana, breathe in that good energy, that good clear natural light and clear air. If you're in a city, you know, it may not be the best, but you're still not trapped up in some office in a cubicle. I know that much because I worked in a cubicle that had no windows, like, and we were supposed to be artists, like, go figure. But anyway, explore your options, you know. I want to say explore your creativity more and let nature be your guide, honestly. Things are being worked behind the scenes in your favor. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That faith. Have faith within yourself. Everything is falling into place. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes we really don't see the results and it's like, dag, I put in 1,000%. Where is this? You know, like I'm the best in the room. You're not being cocky, but you know you've been working on this forever. And it's like you still don't see the results. Take a break. You know, Spirit wants you to take that break because guess what? If it happened tomorrow, would you be ready? Or are you going to be exhausted and tired and famished and discombobulated because you're paying attention to other opinions, right? Celebrate your milestones. Pat yourself on the back. To the people that have been putting in this work for I don't know how long, please have a little bit more faith within the universe and in timing that your time will come. But you must be grateful for the journey that you learned up until this time right now. Many of you sometimes are too hard on yourself and beat yourself up, and that's just, it's so much stronger than somebody actually beating you up. Honestly, hands down. Because it gets in your head and then you start creating these other self-doubt just thrives on that. So I just want to tell y'all, have faith. Please trust in yourself, trust in your creations, and trust in your timing. Listen to your inner voice more because that's the best thing you can ever do. And it's going to be all right. All right. So that's all I have. If you're feeling the vibe, please subscribe. There's plenty more videos where this came from. I also want to tell you that I do have personal readings available. You know, custom readings are just exactly whatever you have on your mind that's specific to you. Then you can book a custom reading. I also have chakra readings that really helps you talk about chakras and really deals with our inner energy and what's going on and how we can heal that energy. Creative spirit reading is really about what I'm doing right now. Tapping back into your career and your creative energy, whether you're working on a project or something, but really looking at ways that you can explore different things and understand what problems are happening, right? So those are the type of readings I have. My waiting list just opened for my events that are coming soon. And check out my products too. Like my products, my workbooks are great for doing that introspective work and opening up that creative energy, focusing on positive vibes all day, every day, baby. Okay, so again, thank you. Click the links below and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.